Hello, it's July 17, 2023. These are the Charles Perry's Talk podcast. We got this again all day and all night, which is weird. So, okay. The timing of it is suspicious because Mr. Perry is desperate to deliver me to some Houston realtor who bought me. Like, he's into trafficking people. And what opened our case to begin with was human rights violations. So, what they're trying to get him on is coercion, also deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce, grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce with intent to coerce, interference with contracts with intent to coerce. If you make a contract for your lease, your apartment, or your house, your leasing house, or your car payment, or your insurance payment, or your gym membership, or whatever it is, and you can't pay it because Mr. Perry took your money, hoping to tear your life down so that you'd be easier to traffic. You know, women are hard to traffic if they have money and things are good and they've got a family support and all that. So he begins to tear their lives down to nothing. Um, so I have help. I can't get a lot of information from inside his criminal organization without help. There's no way. I'm not there in the room. It doesn't just like come to me, tooth fairy and shit. He seems to think that's the case. Today, actually, he's asked me if it's Medicare. He's asked me if it's Walmart. He's asked me if it's Walgreens. He's asked me if it's my family. He's asked me if it's my brother, and I don't have a brother. He's asked me if it's my daughter. I don't have a daughter. He's asked me a lot of things. Strange stuff. So as you can see, there's like nothing coming in. They'll block the orders that are good, and they'll allow me to get crap orders if they want me broke enough and destitute enough where they're trying again. So we see the fluctuations in my income, which I told them a long time ago. We're watching for fluctuations with my income. If it's steady, if it's consistent, there's no case. But if it fluctuates based on what you got, it goes with your recordings, with whatever recording y'all talking about that you need done at the time. And it goes up or down based on whether or not you're intending it to kind of be an enticement, or you're kind of intending it to be, your carrot and your stick approach that you say. Then we know. Then we watch it. It's tracked on it. The forensic accountant has it like tracked on some kind of calendar that he gave to the judge. That isn't Mr. Perry again. While asking me who's telling on me, acts like no one's telling on him. So, like, he continues right along like nothing's happening. Like, he's not caught. He's got it all nice and covered up. And we're like, wow, okay. All right. Well, then don't ask me anymore. If you have no reason to believe that you're caught, then you're not caught. You do what you do. Then don't ask me who told. How did I find out? Don't ask me. Because you don't believe that you really are caught. You believe that you're not caught. So there's no one. It's the fucking tooth fairy. Right? Okay, so they want me trafficked really bad right now. I had a student loan coming. Here's the suspicious thing with the timing. The timing is such that I had like 3 years of schooling, and all of my professors I've told I'm being trafficked and stalked. The traffickers are stalking me. So they'll do things like wreck my car or take my money. Then I have to work more hours or whatever the situation might be that costs my time. So sometimes my homework is late. They will go ahead and include the homework and no late penalty. All of them. There's only been like one or two that didn't. And I think one of them was my math teacher. And the reason she didn't is because with the way the math homework was, you couldn't really extend the time of the deadline. It was kind of like on a different system to where the homework had to be done on that system by a certain time, or there was nothing she could do. Really, there's nothing she could do. So this is a little odd. What happened just recently is I'm taking crisis management class. During crisis management class, we also had a storm that knocks out all of Tulsa's electricity. So not only am I going through the trafficking and the stalking and a lot of loss of my homes, loss of my cars, loss of income, to try to promote my agreement to coerce, my agreement to be trafficked. They're trying to do it by force. Mr. Perry told people, I stand to lose millions if she doesn't go. I stand to listen to the words he said. I, Charles Perry, am going to make Cindy starve, literally, deprive her of basic rights and needs, food and shelter. She can't have any food, she can't have any shelter. Because I need to make my millions. I'm going to make millions doing something illegal. And in order to do that, I'm going to make it where she can't do anything to make money just to feed herself. Doing legal work. Normal legal work. Legit work. So, then what that does in some of the people involved is they get irate. And they start delivering intel. So the first time he did butt into, I'm not going to let her have a new apartment and a new car. I'm not going to let her do it. We get the Muffin Man's name. Muffin Man is a nickname for somebody high up in Mr. Perry's criminal organization. Mr. Perry's drawing heat to his whole organization going at me. It's completely different when he does it to me. I'm willing to eat out of a dumpster because when I'm eating out of a dumpster, I'm willing to take your stick to get my carrot. My carrot is, my guys have a major coercion charge when you do that to me. When you made me sleep in my car for 6 months. Major. So, once they make arrests, it's over. We don't have to live like this anymore. There's nobody around to cause problems and loss and get me kicked out of my home or take my car or make it where I can't make money. You're gone. You're fucking in jail and we're all done. We're done here. So that's my carrot. So if that means I got to take your stick and eat out of a dumpster, I'm of no value to you eating out of a dumpster, am I? But I'm of great value to those officers. And the end game is you're in jail and we're done. No more suffering. No more. Everybody's very sick of the suffering you're causing. It's very upsetting to other people. And you don't care. You just fucking don't care. And while you're asking me, is Walmart helping you? Is Medicare helping you? Is it NYPD? Is it... Listen, you're acting like you think no one's there. So no one's there. Stop asking the questions. You don't really believe there actually is somebody. Or you wouldn't continue doing the same thing that we're like quoting you every day. I guess this morning somebody told the guy, this Facebook that they have set up, nobody can see it but us, our people. If that's true, then there's no injury to you. You keep going to court complaining. So where's the injury, Mr. Perry? If only your people can see it, what is the injury to you? Answer the question for Judge Parker and Judge Egan. Aren't you in both of those courts right now? I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to shut this off because it's just he's just not going to let me get any money here. Okay, these emails that say carrot in the stick, those are recordings of Mr. Perry and his people back in 2022 telling everybody we need to use the carrot in the stick approach with her. Well, our carrot is this house in Houston, or you can go eat out of a dumpster. We got to make you nice and destitute where you can't afford anything, you can't even eat. So over the last 2 days, I do have a place to stay temporarily, but if I don't come up with some money in the next day or two here, it's no more. I'm literally eating out of the dumpster. They're trying to time taking my car at the same time. They know that. They're not supposed to know that. They know that by illegal means. Stalking is a felony. Trafficking is a felony. Hacking, peeping, all that's felony. But while they're asking me, who told me this about you guys talking about your carrot and your stick and Muffin Man and all that, your nickname guy Muffin Man, they think no one's there. So that's fine. So I got to eat out of a dumpster, it looks like temporarily, until the guys arrest him. That's going to give clearly a major coercion charge that they would do that. It also pisses people off when we start getting intel like a motherfucker. Ask Betancourt. When you start taking my home and my car and I don't have anything to eat. So yesterday I ate a donut and 2 tacos. Today I had a donut and a couple of almonds. Literally, that's all I've had all day. They jammed my app up that bad today. So normally what they want to do is get me kicked out of the place that I'm living in and take the car at the same time, and the computer. They want the computer so I can't finish school. So everybody note that for the record. I'm telling you now before they actually do it. That's their goal. Once I'm eating out of a dumpster, they think that I'll get desperate and call them and go, oh, please come get me. I'll suck everybody's dick if it'll make me have some food and a place to live. And I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is my carrot is the end of this. That's my carrot. The more you go at me, the more intel we get. No other victim has this. No other victim. See, victims aren't supposed to know that they're trafficked beforehand. And I do. I even know who you sold me to. But see, most girls, most women just think everything in their life suddenly fell apart. It's just, I don't know what happened, but everything in my life just kind of started falling apart. And then I met these guys, and they offered to help me and get me some place to live. So I went with them, and now I'm sold. I have to prostitute out for them. I have to sell drugs for them. That's what human trafficking is, right? You rake it in off women's backs, off children's backs. So most women don't know they're sold before they're sold. Did my ex-husband say to you today, she told me that she wanted me to put the title in my name so you couldn't get it. I should have done it. Then I could just go get that car and this would be over and we could have our money. And so I call him. My guy says, don't type that up. Here's the rest of that. They told him, stop using your kid as an excuse not to help her. Tell her the IRS is after you. The IRS is not after him. My guy told me. That's bunk. So Mr. Perry's contacting me again right now in my other phone. So we'll get more because he's doing that right now. My guy said is March 2020. Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her, and she better not be broke anymore. Okay? Comply with the law. So Mr. Perry ignored them. And then we got this after that. Your carrot and your stick approach. My guy tells me, so he goes, don't type up what your ex-husband just said. Call him and let's see what his reaction to you is. He did exactly what you told him to do. So you proved out that recording. My carrot is, this is over. My guys make their arrest. If eating out of a dumpster gives them a bigger coercion charge, fine. I'll do it. It's temporary misery for permanent relief. You're gone. You're not around to cause trouble anymore. You're not around to cause drama anymore. You're not around to be a threat to my life and my safety and my well-being and my finances anymore. It's over. Game over. So I'm not worth anything to you eating out of a dumpster. I'm worth a lot to them. And you guys don't think that through. We think that's funny as hell. I mean, literally think that's funny as hell. So hang on. Okay, so this is dated April 28th, 2022. So my guys say in March 2020. This is different with Cynthia. She knows some very powerful people and you're stepping on their toes. Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family ever again. Not in any way, shape, or form. Don't contact them. And that girl better not be broke anymore. You get your hands out of her wallet. And so we got this after that. We got Muffin Man after that. We got Betancourt's name after that. We got Greg and Tim's a few weeks ago when I can't go to work because you're threatening me again at work. Please go to work. We're going to have a wedding. I'm going to have you arrested. Then you're going to sign my affidavit lie that you're not supposed to know about. And in order to get you to participate in this fraud wedding, I'm going to put you in jail first. So you think you have to. And Greg and Tim were watching the whole time. What is she doing now? Is she going to go? What's good? Right? I'm typing it all up. They're like, how'd she know that? We don't know. There's no one. It's Tooth Fairy, right? Giving me this stuff. Yeah. Where's Betancourt today? Where's Muffin Man today? Are they listening right now? Huh? So, the timing, the thing with my class. We have a storm in the middle. Okay, so I've made arrangements with all my professors, including her. I have a stalker. I have some men trying to traffic me, and that involves stalking. And they do a lot of shit to try to ruin my life so that I'm easier to traffic. And so sometimes my homework's late. In the middle of all that, I got homework to do, and an essay is I got to fucking write an essay. And most of them are like, sure. All but a few. All but two. One has an excuse with the math. It was kind of out of her control. It was the way the program was, because you go onto a program and then it gives you math problems. And so you're doing the math problems, and it's really not in their control at all. So you have to get it done by a certain time. Anyways, or like it just doesn't count. It just shows up you didn't do it. So there's no extension on that. Mr. Perry has a meeting with about 30 guys every day trying to figure out how to make me fail. So we have in the middle of a crisis management class, which, by the way, is teaching people, students, how to help people in crisis. It specifically says natural disasters and crime. Trauma due to being a victim of crime. And mental illness and disabilities and all that stuff. But for me, it specifically talks about being the victim of crime, PTSD from that, trauma. I'm traumatized every day. Every fucking day. Somebody's trying to sell you off to somebody else, get passports made without your permission, kill you, take your car, take your money, make it where you go without food for days. That's going to be traumatizing for you. It's also criminal activity, right? But I know beforehand, don't I? I'm telling people before you do it, don't I? Tooth Fairy. Because you don't really think anybody's there, you'd stop. So, ask Bittencourt if somebody's really there. Ask Muffin Man if somebody's really there. Nobody can see the Facebook. We hid it from the public. The only people that can see it is us. Okay. Then Mr. Perry has no injury, as he's gone into court and claimed that he's got an injury. To what? I don't see what's the injury, sir? So, we heard that. And then we heard them talking about no more school money, no more DoorDash money, and her ex-husband can't help her. She's eating out of a dumpster. She's going to be trafficked. We're going to coerce her. There's nobody there. There's nobody there quoting us what we said all day. It's no one. Okay. Anyways, then we're like, what are they going to do with all this stuff like this? When are they going to do it, and how about are they going to make things for you? He said in March 2020, get out of her fucking life. Get the fuck out of it. So when you go around asking how I found out before, we're just dismissive. Because you don't really believe that's even happening. Or you'd stop. You don't do the same thing for 10 years to get you caught in your crime like never before in your life. And think there's, can just keep doing it and keep doing it if you actually think somebody's there. So you don't think there's anybody there. You think this stuff just comes to me? I've got magic powers from the Roswell aliens? I mean, what do you the Fabian puzzle just magically got to me? Not at just some random time in my life, but right then when I was in jail. You had me kidnapped and illegally detained the first time you tried to do this. Right? Yeah, he'll use taxpayer-funded resources to literally traffic a woman. He will do it. Do a false arrest. They don't care. It's millions. But I'm not worth millions if I'm eating out of a dumpster. Right? Just do that until they arrest you and we're done. Game over. There's my carrot right there. Your stick brought up on the rest of us a carrot. Brought the carrot right to us. So your carrot and your stick approach doesn't work on me, does it? No, it doesn't. Okay, so that's how long they've been having that conversation over and over and over. And here's their yellow brick. Is she not going to take the yellow brick road to my murder house? No, thank you. To have to go suck your guy's dick? No, thank you. That's not my... I think this word means something different than you think this word means, Calvin. Aren't you the one that was all big on the yellow brick road? Ain't she gonna take the yellow brick road? Can't we get her subjugated? This is the 21st century. Misogyny and gender discrimination are a thing of the past. That's why we get help and you don't. That's why we're getting the help and you're not. It's no one, Charles. You asking me if it's Walmart? No, no one's there. If you thought really somebody was helping me, you would stop. So you actually don't think there's anybody really there. I don't know what you think. You got Huntington's disease. The no one told us that you have Huntington's disease. It causes paranoia, delusion, psychosis, impaired cognitive reasoning, right? Paranoia. You see things that aren't there. Or don't. I guess you don't see things that are there. We don't know what you think. So tomorrow when y'all run into the courtroom and tell Judge Egan and Judge Parker what I just said, just play the podcast for them. Why don't you explain to us what you think gave me that? Okay? Since you keep going at your crime, explain to them who was helping me? Who got that to me? Who got me the Fabian puzzle? Who told me Mike Neely was drugged before anybody else said it? Who gave me the McNamara email? Huh? We got plane ticket emails too. Watch. Yeah, plane ticket. July of last year, we were doing the plane ticket then too. Are you going to get her a plane ticket? Have Ernest take her car. Have Ernest to get her a plane ticket. That gets her into Texas. Then we'll grab her and that's it. Delivery made. Papa John's. That's what you guys call it, right? We got to make Papa John's on this victim. Gosh, who gave me that code word? No one. Tooth Fairy, right? Yeah, there's no one there. You don't think there is, or you'd stop. How much am I worth to you digging out of a dumpster? I'm worth a lot to the cops. That's endgame for us. Look at that right here. Look at the date. Sold me to a guy in Houston. Took half up front. Wants the rest on delivery. Look at the date. September 26, 2022. You've been trying that long. Yep. Okay, so I gotta finish the story. The timing of my DoorDash app doing this is fishy. They want me delivered now, today. I was supposed to be delivered Sunday. They want me delivered now. So what they usually do, what they usually plan, is wait till it's a time when she can't pay the hotel where she's staying. Then we'll get her car that same day and she's got nothing digging out of a dumpster. Then she'll call us. Then she'll be Papa John's. We're going, no, that's the major coercion charge we would like to have. Carrot, that's our carrot. It's endgame. It's over. No more peeping. No more hacking. No more harassing me. No more putting unbearable pressure on me to go be trafficked and lie for you and do your affidavit lie that you have all done and all that. You know, long ago you did that. I will not sign that. I will not do it. I'm not going to be trafficked. I'll dig out of a dumpster till they arrest you. No one's going to arrest you, right? No one that got me this is going to arrest you. You had an argument with somebody today about your political vendetta, and they were like, dude, there's just not one. You got Huntington's disease. No one told us about that. The no one cops, they told us about your Huntington's disease. You have delusions. You imagine things that just aren't there. So, there's not a political vendetta. You live in a small district in the state of Texas with 86% Republicans. You have to be pro-gun rights, pro-protection of marriage between a man and a woman, pro-life, strong on immigration, strong on military support. And if you're not that, you will not be elected in that district. That is who you are. That is how you vote. Anybody else has to do the exact same thing you do. So why would someone spend a lot of money and time making up a criminal allegation that's just not with no basis, just making shit up out of their ass? We've got a lot of proof, sir. Got a lot of evidence. The funniest thing is we'll type up what you guys just said, and then you'll do it anyway, like you did with Mike's husband tonight. You're doing it anyway, even though you're caught. We're quoting you beforehand. You want me trafficked right now today. You think tonight she needs to pay that hotel bill. We'll jam up the dasher up so she can't. We'll make it where she can't make any money. We'll tell her ex-husband, tell her you can't help her. Tell her you're broke. Make her feel like shit. And then tomorrow morning she'll be trafficked because she won't have shit. She'll get kicked out. We'll take over. We'll tell the hotel keeper stuff. Did you do that? Did you already tell them? Are they prepared? Are they prepared? Am I going to get another I told you so? And then I go eat out of a dumpster. Then what a value of am I to you? What? I'm a lot to the cops. A lot of value to the cops that don't exist. So the professor, I'm supposed to have loan money right now. The professor would not include one of my assignments. And I'm like, okay, that's a little funny. That's fishy with the timing. Because in all these years, nobody's done that. Everybody gives me extra time because of the stalking situation. And in addition to the stalking situation in this class, we also had the storm that knocked out electricity for a week. The whole town of Tulsa did not have electricity. There were 3 gas stations open. They ran out. They had a run on them, like literally 30 minutes to an hour to wait for gas at all 3. And then they flat ran out. There was no place to go get gas. Well, you have to put gas in your car to even charge your phone. Or charge a generator. So you can't charge your computer up or you can't do shit. Plus it was hot as fuck. So, we had both a natural disaster and a crime in the same class. It's crisis management. Here's how we help people in crisis. But I'm not going to accommodate any of that and give you some extra time to include your assignment. You fail. So now you can't have your student loan money because Mr. Perry needs to traffic you. So they told me to do that. Right? No other professor's done it. The timing was fishy, to say the least. So you put that timing with your recordings, boom, you're done. By no one cop, right? No cops, just, yeah. I don't know. We're like at a loss as to jam up the Dasher app, make sure she doesn't make any money, tell her ex-husband. So I complained that he was blaming my son. He's telling me he doesn't have any money to help me, and he's blaming my son. So he changed it today. Today was, tell her the IRS is after you. IRS is not after him. We know that. We heard y'all talking about it. And we hear him say, she told me to put my name, put the title of her car in my name. And I wish I would have. I'd just go get that car, and then that way I can go get the car, and then you get it delivered, and we're done here. I get my money, you get your money, we're done. Did you promise him money? My ex-husband? Prove it or not, Charles. By what y'all do, you prove quite a bit. Especially when it's exactly what the recording said, what we heard you talking about. So how much money, if you went around telling everybody, I lose millions if I can't get her trafficked. How much am I worth to you? Millions, right? If that's the case. So if I'm eating out of a dumpster instead of going to be trafficked, how much am I worth to you then? I'm worth a life to the cops. They get a coercion charge and a big one. So, I mean, for somebody that asks me every day, is it this person, is it that person, it's no one, Charles. If you really thought there was someone there, you'd stop. You'd fucking stop. You don't think there's anyone there. So stop asking the question. Okay? It's the Tooth Fairy. That's who. So we got all this today. Right? Your argument. 86% Republicans. You replace you with you, basically. Less the crime. So it doesn't do any good for anybody, to spend the time and resources for 10 years to get the surveillance and information we're getting over a political position in one of the smallest districts in the state that can't be flipped. They're gonna vote exactly like you. So it'd be different if it was a big, huge district. Well, Bill Clinton, everybody talked about, there's some things that he did that was illegal, right? Donald Trump, whatever, Bill Clinton, Anthony Weiner. I guess now there's been some talk about Justice Thomas, which I like Justice Thomas. I was disappointed. But if those allegations are true? I was disappointed. But the thing is, you're just some little podunk nobody. So if Bill Clinton can't survive the speculation, why would you? If it's criminal activity, it's criminal activity. Why would you survive it? Why would it not be, you act like you're just like Teflon Don here, while I'm quoting everything you guys say every single day for 10 years. And that is because you've so repulsed and so upset people in what you're doing to me and to other people. They want you to stop. They're tired of it. Everybody's sick of it. So, like as somebody said a couple of days ago, wherever, I can imagine there's leaks, because wherever Dave and Charles go, it's nothing but drama and problems, and it's not too long before everybody's broke. That's just kind of what they do. They make everybody broke. So I think everybody is sick of it. I don't see that being far-fetched at all. I think they are upsetting people. I think they really are sick and tired of this. So we got your argument here about why there's no possibilities. You'd have to move a company in from California, and not just move the company in and hire local people there in Lubbock. You would have to bring a company in and their employees to change the voter demographics, which is what we saw in Las Vegas. Las Vegas used to be about 50-50. Now it's more like it used to be red. It used to be a red state, and now it's kind of like purple, because a lot of Californians started moving into Nevada, and they vote liberal. So that's what you would have to do, Mr. Perry. And the district would really need to be bigger. I mean, you would have to have people from your town solicit people. I guess Governor Perry did at one point, solicited people from California to come into the state of Texas. I think they stopped once he realized all we're really doing is bringing a lot of, we're helping the economy, a little bit here, but we're also bringing in a lot of liberal voters, which is not really what we were hoping for. So they would have to bring in a company in California with liberal voters, employees, and change the voter demographics completely, Mr. Perry. And your district would need to be bigger to matter. It just doesn't. You don't matter. I haven't lived in Lubbock for 10 years, since 2013. It doesn't matter. You don't matter. You were never my representative. I didn't do Texas state legislation. I did federal government reform. So I know that here we are 9 years later after you went into court and said a false police report has been filed against me in retaliation for my job as a senator. There's no fights. There's nothing. There's a lot of talk of why are you stalking me? So prove what I mean. You don't even have an issue. You're still trying to think one up now because you need your coercion by cop, right? Yeah. Use taxpayer-funded resources to coerce the victim into being trafficked. Put her in jail. We've been talking about. Here's the thing. He acts like nobody knows. We have talked about this. We do know. We know. We've talked about it over and over and over and over and over. Get her to the club. Get her on the pole. Jerk her off the pole. Arrest her for frame her. We get a murder frame up. But except the girl's too big to be Cindy, the one that actually did it. We got a video, but if you watch them, watch this girl. She walks different than Cindy. She gestures different. It's not her. Her hair's blonder than Cindy's. Cindy's is more of a white blonde. Her skin's tanner. She's fatter. She's big. Right? Okay. Get her in a room. Sign the lie affidavit. Go pose with your family for these wedding photos so I can cover up my forgery from years ago, 2019, that Lucky asked me about. That you used to get my finances all fucked up, right? Getting information that you shouldn't have access to. This is just what you do. You like tearing down women. You got mommy issues. You didn't have the class to keep within your own family. So you're gonna use Mike Reed's office to do that, or Scott Walton's to do that for you, taxpayer-funded resources, and then tell. You can come be with us and be trafficked and suck this guy's dick so I can get my millions, or sit in jail and rot. And I'll go tell your family, I offered to help her. I don't know what kind of trouble she got herself into. I offered to help her and she just refuses my help. Kind of like you told them, it's just a bad economy and I've tried to help her and she just won't take my help. You need to tell her it's just best if she comes with me. Yeah, we heard it. We heard all about it. The no one cops got that from you to me. The Tooth Fairy cops, okay? So we heard this argument today because when you contact me, every time you contact me, we get more. I don't always put it out. Every time I'm broke, we get more. Every day Mike's in jail. Every time you cause a problem for me. Every time you cause drama for me. Every day you invade my privacy, we always get more. My guys invade your privacy. They got a court order. You have a weirdo problem. See? Didn't understand a word I said. Look at that. Make sure she gets no DoorDash orders. They did it. They're doing it tonight. Make sure look at the time, 4:23. Make sure she doesn't get any DoorDash orders. There won't be any more loan money from school. We want her out of school. We don't want that girl graduating school. And tell Ernest to tell her he's not going to help her. Which, the DoorDash hasn't worked all night. Ernest did exactly what you told him to. And the school loan money, we're still working on that. But you do what you do. See, a lot of the problems that you're causing now, once you're in jail, our guys will fix it. Just snap of a finger. A lot of the orders that you got on fraud, vacated like that. The prosecutor fills out the paperwork, and that's it. We're done. So I don't know who you think you're fooling. The no one cops, while he's asking me, is it Walmart? It's no one. No one's there. Why would you think somebody's catching your crime? I thought you said you're not caught and you got it all nice and covered up. Isn't that what you think? So why are you asking me? You're doing the crime anyway, like no one's there. So don't ask me who it is. You don't care about that. I mean, we just had this all fucking day. So this again was tonight. I got 2 different phones. 2 different things. One of them says, same time, same account. One of them says, everything but Jinx is locked up. Usually that means he wants me pulled over, and Jinx, he's going to take my car. Okay, that's usually what that means. or it's Broken Arrow or Bixby. They try for it not to be Tulsa right now because we have court. I still have the August court date with them, but likely Mr. Perry wants me to not show up, and then you can't go back to Oklahoma. They got a bench warrant on you because you didn't go to your traffic court case because I made sure you didn't. Yeah, ask your attorney about what the Supreme Court says when someone intentionally impedes you from going to court. They've weighed in on that. Okay, so this one is Dash Along the Way. See? This one is Schedule Something. It's at the same time. 2 different phones. Yeah. So we got that again. That's happened a lot. So my ex-husband, they tell me what he said. I heard what he said, but they said type something up that we know that there was a conversation with him, but don't put anything specific in it. Is that it right here? No. That's the conversation you had arguing with somebody about there not being a political vendetta. There's just no evidence of that. But if you're dealing with somebody that's got Huntington's disease, they got paranoia, delusion, hallucinate, psychosis, impaired cognitive reasoning, they think 9 years later I can still make that lie work. False arrest. She filed a false police report, and she did it because there's a political vendetta. It's about retaliating against me for my job as a senator. Isn't that what you told Judge Hanson? And he didn't ask you for evidence of that. Or evidence that the police report was false because nobody investigated it. At no time has anybody investigated that report still to this day. I was being poisoned. David said, yeah, we gave you arsenic. Nobody got my blood to see, was it arsenic or was it something else or was it nothing? If it was nothing, you would have made sure I had a blood test. And you would have gone ahead, there would have been your lie for the media. See, we tested her, and there was no blood. There was nothing in her blood. But you made sure there was no test because you knew there was something in my blood. Yeah, you're not caught. There it is, right there. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I call him about 8. He did exactly what you said. You didn't tell him we had this? Oh, I don't know what to do here. Okay, so we got that information from no one cop. Tooth Fairy. So I don't know why you asked me who it is, because you think there's no one. You continue in the crime like no one's there. You did exactly what this email says. Every bit of it. So now I got another. Well, I did say I told you so. Because he's desperate to have me trafficked right now. It was supposed to be done yesterday. They want the car. My ex-husband said she wanted me to put the title of her car in my name. I should have done it. Then I could just go get the car. This is over. We get our money. Yeah. I didn't type it up. He made up some bullshit with the IRS. The IRS is up. Since you got on to me for blaming our son, I won't do that now. Instead, I'll blame you and my son for putting me in a jam with the IRS. Did you imagine that? Yeah. He just contacted me again, so we'll get more from that. Don't contact her. Don't take her money. Don't invade her privacy. Mike Sneely's goes home from jail, or we're gonna come at you like you haven't been come out before in your life. No, the victim has that before, by the way. What's supposed to happen is they're just supposed to think, oh, I'm just having all these weird problems. I don't know what's going on. I'm just having a run of bad luck. Look at that, Mr. Perry. Read it carefully. Because we say it and we show you every day. Read it carefully. Because we say it and then we show you every day. The no cops that don't exist. Tooth Fairy cops. Okay? What day are they going to arrest you? I'm eating out of a dumpster all of a sudden. I'm very valuable to them. When you get really nasty, really cruel, it pisses off a hell of a lot of people that have the ability to guess some intel like Muffin Man's name. Papa John's means to deliver the victim to the buyer. Hansel and Gretel means to trick this person into going to this certain location like a club where Greg and Tim are waiting for me to go. Yeah. Okay. Sanjay. And apparently my ex-husband. So he helps me when you want him to help me, when you want something that you're trying to entice, and then he won't help me when you don't want him to help me. Is that true? I mean, it's either true or it's not. You're either doing what we say or you're not doing what we say. Okay, so what has happened is when Mr. Perry gets really nasty, my guy goes, I know you hate this, But we got a couple of people that deliver like a motherfucker, the more cruel he gets to you. So we got all of this came from them. And you take my home, my car, and I can't eat. You ruin something good, you get all of that. Okay? So for the people on your Facebook that it's only your people that see this, do they know I have that? These are subject lines to just like what you just saw, Yellow Brick Road. And then it's an email typing up their conversation that I heard in a recording. That's what those are. Subject lines to all of those emails. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them. And names. Lucius, Sanjay Geppetto, Monique, Beverly. Who's Monique and where is she right now? Ruben, Dickie, Kate. See, every time, see, here it is. After I lose my... First, it was, I'm going to get an apartment and a new car. Nope. She's not getting a new apartment and a new car. Then we get Muffin Man. Right then, that's when we got that. Got her kicked out of my apartment. He started trying to do it the first time. We get Blankenship, Desiree, Calvin, and Richard. Get a ringtone, Richard. Then we get this. When he had me kicked out of my apartment, my hotel, Lucius, Sanjay, Geppetto, Monique, Beverly, James, Ruben, Dickie. Then. And then we got more after... every time there's a major loss, we get more names. So now it's Greg and Tim. Right? I couldn't go to work. And I'm like, I'm sick of having to ask my ex-husband for money. I'm sick of it. I would like to just go to work and be left alone. And not worry about as soon as I walk in, am I going to get, handcuffed and coerced, unbearable pressure, by force, you have to go be trafficked. It's bad when you traffic. It's really bad when there's coercion involved. Did you not know that? So eating out of a dumpster, I'm of great value to the cops. I'm of no value to you. I'm only of value to you if I'm delivered. You said, I stand to lose millions if I can't get her delivered. That means I am worth millions. How much am I worth to you if I'm eating out of a dumpster? Because I will not be trafficked. I refuse. I said no. You need to move on. Because when you don't, we get more and more and more and more and more. Thousands upon thousands of these. Ask Philip and Ted. I guess somebody said that Philip guy is not really her attorney. But here's what happened. Mr. Perry told everybody he was going to send her home from the first false arrest, harass the shit out of her. And then when she complained about it, lie and say she's harassing him. He's provoking, he's antagonizing, he's instigating, not her. She doesn't go to Texas. They can't get him to leave Oklahoma. He's always in Oklahoma. Harassing, antagonizing. It's pretty scary when someone has sold you to sex slavery and they're trying to starve you and make you destitute and eat out of a dumpster and take everything you own to facilitate the buy. Do you think that wouldn't be scary for anybody? Yeah, pretty scary. That's why they're the carrot to your stick. It's different when you do it to me. We get the information before. Mr. Perry, you're creeping me out right now, so we'll get more. Because you are. You were told not to contact me at all. So everybody know for the record, Mr. Perry just contacted me again. That will always buy us more intel. Every time you take my chunk change, it buys us more intel. How many millions of dollars do you spend taking my money, which ends up buying us intel, and you still don't know what that means, do you? No. It's funny. It's dealing with the mentally ill. Mentally impaired. Makes it so easy. It's not fair. Nobody else has this before, but I do. So, and I get asked every day, is it this person? Is it that person? Is it Walmart? Is it Walgreens? Is it Medicare? Is it China? Is it Putin? Is it your mom and dad? Who is it? No one. It's no one. If you really thought it was someone, you'd stop. Yeah. You think it's no one, so it's no one. Okay? Stop asking the questions. So we have, the guy said Philip is not really her attorney, but she sends him probably 10 to 20 emails a day about something Mr. Perry's talking about, some crime he's talking about committing against her that gets recorded by these guys helping her, and she types it up and sends it to Philip because Mr. Perry said he was going to do this harassment false lie claim. So in case he does, she just sends those off. They're prepared, more than prepared. I mean, they got a pile of this shit that he's doing to her in Oklahoma. And then I guess he was asked, well, if he did want to proceed with some kind of charge like that, how does he explain why is he always in Oklahoma? Why can they not get him to leave? She's not going to Texas where he is. I moved from Lubbock in 2013, November, to get away from Mr. Perry's harassment. Then I was in Dallas. I meet Fabian, my manager at Jaguars. My friend asked me in a private Facebook message. See, a lot of stuff you know about me, like my car and when and where I work and all that, how much money I'm making, when I'm door dashing, where I'm door dashing. You can't know that by any legal means at all. You can't know it. Mr. Perry's typing in my phone this morning. CJ serve. I'm like, okay, the fuck does that even mean? CJ serve. And I'm like, well, stalker, you know where I am. Fucking serve me, bitch. Get it done. You can't know where I am by any legal means, but, you know, you want to serve me, fucking serve me. You know, don't type it in my phone, you hacked. Fucking serve me. You know, don't threaten me. You forget who it is you're talking to. So, we have, so the guy's like, you know, I'm telling my friend, she's like, are you dating anybody? And I'm like, no, I like my manager. I'd like to get to know him better, kind of see what he's like. And, I go to work the next time, and he's pissed off at me, and it's hostile, and I'm like, we didn't have a fight. What the fuck happened? So I'm in the back of the building where everybody could go onto like this porch and smoke, and there's a bunch of people back there. We're all standing around talking. It was kind of slow out on the floor. We're smoking back there, and one of my coworkers came walking up, and I go, what the fuck is going on with Fabian? He's so mad at me. Like, here's what he said, and here's what he did. And he goes, he was trying to talk to you, but I think he like wasn't quite sure how to ask you to talk. And I was like, okay. And this girl overheard it. She turns around, and her boyfriend both like swirled around, and they both go, that senator is like, he's calling here and coming in here and shit. And I'm that Lubbock senator, and I was like, oh fuck. Okay, that explains a lot. So I leave. I didn't say anything that night, and then a couple days later, I wasn't even working. I just drove all the way back in, you know, over to the club and walk in, and I tell Fabian, listen, I got a stalker. Like, he's not supposed to call here. I don't know what the hell happened, but he's not supposed to call here. I don't want anything to do with him. And we talked for a while, and he says, I think you deserve better than to spend the rest of your life being harassed by this guy. I mean, you know, there was a conversation about one thing or two things that could be done to end it, the stalking. And he made a suggestion about something, and I was like, I can't do that because XYZ. And he was like, listen, I just feel like you deserve a lot better than to be stalked by this guy for the rest of your life and harassed by him. And so I'm just saying, maybe think about it. So we had a good conversation, and Mr. Perry just made it worse. So I left Dallas and came home to Tulsa with my family. And I haven't even been able to be around my family because Mr. Perry's always with my family. And I'm trying to avoid him. And he kept threatening EPA. I'll shut our businesses down with the EPA. I'm going to set him down and tell him the horrible things I'm going to do to you. And tell him I'm coming over and you're not to know anything about it. And I'm your secret boyfriend. Blah, blah, blah. Weird shit. Weirdo shit. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. So I don't want my family to be threatened if Mr. Perry thinks they're leaking. To who? There's no one there. No one's investigating you. It's the Tooth Fairy that tells me this stuff. Right? Because if you really thought there were cops helping me, you would not bother me anymore. You would not bother me. You'd be like, I am fucking caught. And I need to stop before I make... You know how many times we say, here's your shovel, dig away. Dig. Most people are smart enough to stop digging once they realize they're in a hole. So if you have to ask, is it Walmart? No, it's not Walmart. But call them and tell them stop stopping your crime. We love it when you make those calls. I mean, we think that is funny as fuck. Talk about showing your mental illness. We think that is funny as hell. So, show it off to everybody. Your mental problems. By calling Medicare or whoever. I mean, this has just gone on and on and on, and people are so tired of it. And we've got guys that deliver like a motherfucker. The more cruel you get to me. So we got a lot of people's names nobody else has. We got your code words nobody else has. We have, poor Richard's going, I don't look good in prison garb. You better get her trafficked today, so I don't have to go to prison. What makes you think that would mean you don't go to? Whatever they do to me will make it worse. That's not good. That doesn't mean you're not going to go to prison. It just means it'll be worse than it would have if you not done that. So this lie you guys have told yourselves of, if we can get her trafficked, we're not going to go to prison. Bullshit. You are, no matter what. However bad you make it for me is however bad they make it for you. And he's told you that over and over and over and over. All of this we got after March 2020, Charles, when he said Cynthia's privacy is not to be invaded. You are not to contact her or her family in any form ever again. And she better not be broke. And when you piss them off, you got some leaks or some informants or something, the worse you get to me, the more cruel you get. Boy, they deliver like a motherfucker. My guy's like, we got this one or two guys that one of them starts kind of getting scared and he'll back off because he's afraid. I think he's afraid he's about to get made. And but then Charles will do something really mean to you, and all of a sudden here he comes. He'll come in with all kinds of shit. All of a sudden we get all kinds of shit from him. That one, he goes, I know you hate it having to go through this stuff, but I want you to know it pays off if that helps you at all, because we got this guy will deliver like a motherfucker. The more cruel Mr. Perry gets. So you're eating out of a dumpster. It's gonna suck for a little bit, but then that's the end of it. It's over. No more peeping, no more hacking, no more making problems for you, no more threats to your car, no more threats to your safety and well-being, no more threats to your family and the people in your life that you care about. And you can go to work and he won't bother you anymore. Charles, don't contact me. I fucking hate it. Get out of my phone. I don't care what you think. Nobody understands why you think I do. I'm never going to help you. There's no one there. You don't think there's anybody that there's not. This came from the Tooth Fairy. Okay? If you really thought there were cops helping me, you'd stop. You'd be too afraid to continue, doing the crime and getting caught. But you keep telling me you're not caught, and that you got it all covered up, and that there's no one there. So don't ask me if it's Walmart. There's no one there. Okay? So we get all that. Didn't the judge tell you? She's asserted that she's getting this information from cops. She does have a lot of information well and advanced to when you did it, like the McNamara email and the car accidents. I'm seeing a lot of car accidents and they all have similarities. They're hitting her right at the wheel. She's not hitting them. I'm sorry, but I'm not a buffoon. So if you're saying you didn't do that, I don't believe you. And she knew Mike Neely was drugged. She knows Mr. Perry has Huntington's. So, and then there's this McNamara email. So I'm sorry, but she says she's getting that from law enforcement. You're coming in here and saying she can't prove it, but they can prove it. So until you can come in with a viable alternative theory and substantiating evidence, it's law enforcement. So they can prove it. Also, the burden of proof is on you if you were going into court and making crap up. You're saying I'm lying. Prove I'm lying and prove I know I'm lying and prove it's not part of the investigatory strategy, Mr. Perry. Okay? But you gotta watch what you say in court right now because you're in a lot of trouble for that. You're perjury. You got a lot of perjury. There's no political vendetta. You're still trying to think one up. You're still trying to think one up, aren't you? Hang on. Okay, so the political vendetta isn't. These were sent in 2011. It's all about stalking. There's nothing political here at all. And they've been just sitting here on Facebook forever. This is my friend Cheryl, who saw Mr. Perry stalking me around town or using his staff. Catherine, is Catherine a victim as well? Was she trafficked? Okay, these are the texts I sent to Fabian on the night David Robertson first introduced himself to me at my work, Lady Godiva's. And I'm telling Fabian, we talked about you and this is what he said. This is the McNamara email here. It's about coercion. And this is what the Tooth Fairy non-existent police gave me in jail. It's got his name on it, not just some random name. And it didn't get to me at some random time. It got to me in jail. Wasn't up to y'all. Anytime I quote you, is it up to you? When I got your names, is it ever up to you? No. But you're poking that bear. You're poking that bear. You're stepping on powerful toes. Somebody that could get that to me in jail has a lot of power, and it wasn't up to you. Somebody that can tell me your name's Muffin Man, they got a lot of power. Right? Your code words, Hansel and Gretel, Rumpelstiltskin, Weeble Wobbles. We're Weeble Wobbles. We wobble, but we can't fall down. Right? Okay, so those... Don't ask me again who it is, Charles, because you don't really think there is anybody. If you did, you'd stop. Because you keep telling me, I got this covered up, and I'm not... Okay. But I'm quoting you every day, all day long. I did all weekend, didn't I? Where's the political vendetta? Evidence of it. Show the evidence. That was made... You made a statement in a court of law in 2016. You're still trying to think up the political vendetta. Look, 9 years later, I'm sorry, or 7 years after the fact, that's not going to fly. It might fly in your lie. I like to lie, and I forged a marriage license in 2019. I need Cindy arrested, and then I need to sit her down and tell her you have to pose for my lie, fraud, marriage, wedding photo. Somebody said that this weekend. Did she not get a plane ticket? No. So there wasn't a wedding. No, she didn't go to work. We were going to do this to her at work. Everybody got their scripts, and everybody practiced their role playing. No one cops told us that. You don't believe there is anybody, or you wouldn't keep doing this to me. What he said is her privacy is not to be invaded. You are not to contact her, and she sure as fuck better not be broke. And if she is, I'm going to get as much as I can get, intel-wise, to lock you up. And that's over. She will never be broke again. You won't be around to peep and hack and make trouble and cause problems and drama and make her broke. You'll be in jail. I'll make sure of it. The guys that got me this puzzle said that to you. So, you're still trying to traffic me because you're going to lose millions. I'm worth a lot more to the cops digging out of a dumpster. It would surprise you how valuable I am. I'm a fucking hero in a lot of law enforcement circles from what I've been willing to go through for the cause of justice to have you locked up. I'm the hero. You're making me a hero. I'm the legend. Mr. Perry, you contacted me and I just asked you not to do that. I will never fucking help you. We all can't... everybody... You need to understand how sick and tired of you everybody is. How much you're upsetting people. We get the information, snap of a finger. Because very powerful people are very upset. You make people sick at their stomach. And we're all tired of feeling sick at our stomach at what's Charles doing to her today. We hear it a lot. First it's, why in the hell is he doing that to her? Followed by, how did she know? How did she find out about that? Because what you're doing is so cruel, and nobody understands why the fuck anyone would do that. I said no to the trafficking. I'll eat out of a dumpster. That is my choice. You want to take my car, make me eat out of the fine. I'm of great value to those cops and to the cause of justice. Same as when I was sleeping in my car and eating every other day or twice a week and taking a bath twice a week back then. Remember? I did it. I did it anyway, didn't I? I didn't call you, did I? I said no to the trafficking. Fuck you. I'm not signing your lie. Fuck you. You have a lot of nerve that you would even ask me. I mean, all you're doing is giving us a whole lot of I told you so's. I did say. We already talked about that about a gazillion times. Mr. Alzheimer's here wakes up in a new world every 5 minutes. He acts like we don't know. Yeah, okay. And the Facebook is only seen by you, then where's your injury? If only your people are on the Facebook and see it, you got it blocked from the public, what's your injury, sir? You don't have an injury. Tell Judy. Tell Judge Egan. You don't have an injury because only your people see it. It's not public. You're hiding it, right? You blocked it, Lucius or Calvin or Muffin Man or whoever said that today. Yeah. Okay. So they got this to me in jail, Muffin Man, who told everybody she's not getting any more student loan. I'm gonna let you prove that out or not. Prove my recording for me or not. Because you're either doing what we're saying or you're not. What day will they arrest you and how bad will they make things for you? It'll be in direct, it'll have a lot to do with how miserable you made my life and how much pressure you put on me to do something illegal that I've already said no to for a decade. Charles, you can't have something for bait unless that something is wanted. You're not wanted. You're not sexy or hot. You're a fucking weirdo. You're a fucking repulsive weirdo. Everybody hates your guts. That's why we get help with information at the snap of a finger. And nobody will help you. Nobody's telling you anything. But then there's nothing to tell. I guess there's no one there, right, that gave me this. It wasn't at a random time. It was in jail. It's not just any words on that. It just in the same book or on the same page. It's those words arranged just like that. You're the butt in here. You're the wannabe. Always the wannabe. Never the wanted one. You make everybody sad and scared. And Fabian and Hope intersect. At the end of the day, you made them intersect. If these two words were parallel, they wouldn't intersect, would they? But because you've butt in there, they do. Who has the power to get me that? In jail. Not some other random time. In jail. And it was not up to you. Muffin Man, Betancourt, Richard, Dickey, Sanjay, was it up to you when we got your name? Did anybody call and ask your permission first? We control the flow of information, always have. Always have, always will. But when you provoke and you instigate and you antagonize, and the more cruel you get, the more stuff we get. Any of the victim have your names and your code words and a lot of emails of what you were talking about doing before you did it? I do. What does it mean that I have that? You don't know, do you? Our shrink said that. They don't know what it means that you have that. They don't know. You can tell. You can tell they don't know the value of it. They don't know the value of you eating out of a dumpster. Because at that point to them, you're not a value. But you're a lot of value to us. That's a big coercion charge right there. That's almost like a game over one. We got pretty close with the sleeping in the car. We want them all at the same time. We want it solid. We want it. No, we're not doing a deal on any of you. We'll see you at trial. We're going to get convictions and that's it. You're not going to hurt people anymore. You're not going to make people's stomach turn anymore. You're not going to threaten somebody with human rights violations anymore. Okay? That's it. That's enough. And we're done. So you want me eating out of a dumpster, that is my choice. Because the carrot they are offering is the end of this. The nightmare's over. And that's the carrot to your stick, Calvin. And I don't know what else to tell you. We're all sick of this. Everyone, you're not getting it. Everybody's sick of y'all. They were sick of y'all before I got here. Right? When that guy say, everywhere Charles and Dave go, it's all problems and drama. And it's not too long before everybody's broke and everybody's tired of it. They're tired of it. They respect Cindy for what she's doing.